Blessings, my friends. Dr. Mandell here. Today I'm going to share a tiny seed that's been used for centuries, and many people overlook its incredible benefits for the eyes. No, it's not carrots. It's not supplements. It's something you may already have in your kitchen. Flaxseed. For most of human history, we believed our eyes were delicate windows to the world, vulnerable to light, dust, age, and strain. But modern science has uncovered something far more surprising. The real story of eye comfort and clarity begins deep inside the body, long before a drop ever touches the surface of the eye. And one of the most powerful tools for supporting that internal system isn't a pill, a device, or a procedure. It's a tiny seed that most people walk right past in the grocery store. Flaxseed, a food so small most people never realize what it's capable of. But inside this humble seed lies a biological secret that's transforming the way researchers think about eye lubrication, tear stability, and the root causes of dryness and irritation. To understand why, you have to look at what's actually happening when eyes burn, itch, or feel gritty. Most people assume dry eyes are simply a lack of tears, but the truth is far more complex. Your tears aren't just water. They're a sophisticated three-layer system. Mucin at the base, water in the middle, and a delicate layer of oil on top that keeps everything from evaporating. And that oily layer, produced by tiny glands in your eyelids called the meibomian glands, determines whether your eyes stay moist and comfortable or dry out seconds after you blink. These glands are the unsung heroes of your eye comfort. Yet in more than 80% of dry eye cases, it's not the tears that are the problem. It's those glands. They become inflamed. They produce poor quality oils. They clog. They shut down. And when they malfunction, your tears simply evaporate. No eye drop in the world can fix that from the inside, but nutrition can. Flaxseed is one of nature's richest sources of alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, an essential omega-3 fatty acid that the body uses to support cell membranes, regulate inflammation, and maintain healthy lipid production. When scientists studied diets high in ALA, they found something remarkable. These omega-3s help the meibomian glands produce a smoother, more stable oil layer, improving tear quality in ways eye drops simply cannot mimic. One landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants with higher omega-3 intake had significantly lower rates of evaporative dry eye symptoms. Another study showed that omega-3s help lower inflammatory markers within the glands, allowing them to function more efficiently, restoring the protective tear film layer that keeps the eyes calm and lubricated. And flaxseed isn't just a source of omega-3s, it's one of the most concentrated sources on Earth, packing more ALA per serving than most fish oils, but without the heavy metals or oxidation risks. Yet the real shock comes when you realize what happens inside these glands without proper nutrition. Under chronic strain, whether from screen use, age, dehydration, hormones, or environmental stress, the oils inside the glands become thick, sluggish, and wax-like. Instead of flowing smoothly, they harden, they block, they inflame. And once those glands shut down, they cannot regenerate. Millions of people walk around with early signs of gland dropout and never know it. They simply reach for drops, not realizing they're treating the symptoms, not the cause. But a simple dietary shift can change the internal chemistry of those oils. Omega-3s from flaxseed help thin the secretions, support gland flexibility, and promote a more stable oil layer that keeps tears from evaporating. It's not magic, it's biology. Flaxseed also brings lignans, powerful plant antioxidants that help protect delicate tissues from oxidative stress. Your eyes, exposed to air and light every second you're awake, suffer some of the highest oxidative stress of any organ. Over time, this subtle but constant damage affects tear glands, eyelid tissues, and even nerve sensitivity. Research from the Journal of Nutritional Biochemistry shows that lignans help neutralize free radicals that break down lipids in the tear film. In simple terms, they help keep your natural oils from oxidizing, thickening, and destabilizing. Few people ever think about the oxidation of their tear film, yet it may be one of the most overlooked contributors to irritation, redness, and burning. But flaxseed's story doesn't stop there. This small seed is loaded with vitamin E, another essential antioxidant that supports cellular health, and it contains plant compounds that help circulation. Better blood flow means the glands receive more oxygen and nutrients, ingredients they need to produce healthy oils day after day. Imagine nourishing the very machinery of your eye comfort, not from the outside, but from the bloodstream itself. Because the truth is, every tear you produce, every blink you make, is powered by internal nutrition long before it ever touches air. And for millions of people spending 6, 8, even 12 hours a day staring at screens, this matters more than ever. Digital eye strain reduces blink rate by nearly 60%. That means the meibomian glands don't get the mechanical pumping they need to release oils. Over time, the glands atrophy, but omega-3s help maintain the fluidity of those oils, making them easier to express with each blink. It's like giving the glands a softer, more flexible raw material to work with. The difference can be profound. Some people notice improved comfort within weeks of adding flaxseed to their diet. Others find they no longer rely on constant artificial tears. While flaxseed is not a cure for any disease, it is a powerful ally, supporting the biological systems that maintain lubrication from the inside out. And unlike eye drops, which soothe for minutes, nutrition rebuilds from within. Just 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed a day is enough to begin supporting these processes. It's simple, it's inexpensive, and it taps into a fundamental truth modern medicine is rediscovering, that the health of the eyes begins with the health of the body. Every cell, every gland, every tear is shaped by what you feed it. So the next time your eyes burn or feel tired, remember this: comfort doesn't begin at the surface. It begins in the bloodstream, in the glands, in the delicate lipids that form the invisible shield protecting your eyes every time you blink. And one of the most powerful ways to support that shield is through a food so tiny, so humble, most people overlook it: flaxseed. Small enough to fit on your fingertip, powerful enough to support the very film that keeps your eyes moist, protected, and alive. Most people think eye problems begin with age, screens, or genetics, but the truth runs much deeper. Your eyes are living tissue, biological machines powered by microscopic processes that never sleep. Every blink, every moment of focus, every second of daylight triggers chemical reactions inside these delicate structures. And behind the scenes, a constant battle takes place between the forces that keep your eyes healthy and the forces that slowly break them down. What science is now revealing is that one of the most powerful defenses for these tissues doesn't come from a pharmacy. It doesn't come in a bottle. It comes from nature, hidden inside a tiny seed that most people ignore: flaxseed. A seed so small it barely weighs anything, yet inside it lies one of the richest natural sources of omega-3 fatty acids and plant antioxidants ever discovered. And the impact of these compounds on the human eye is far more profound than most people realize. To understand why, imagine the surface of your eye not as a passive membrane, but as a battlefield constantly assaulted by oxygen, light, dryness, inflammation, and environmental toxins. The retina, one of the most oxygen-hungry tissues in the entire body, is bombarded by free radicals every time light enters the eye. These unstable molecules, produced by everything from sunlight to stress to pollution, damage healthy cells and accelerate aging from the inside. This process, oxidative stress, is now considered one of the leading drivers of tissue breakdown across the entire visual system. And yet most people don't realize how quickly this kind of stress accumulates. Researchers have measured oxidative markers in the eye and found that the retina experiences more oxidative damage per day than nearly any other organ except the brain. Without protective nutrients, this stress quietly builds, weakening cell membranes, irritating tear glands, and destabilizing the healthy balance of oils and fluids that keep the eyes working. But flaxseed carries a unique shield against this kind of internal erosion. Its lignans, powerful phytonutrients found in the seed's cell walls, have been shown in multiple studies to neutralize free radicals and reduce oxidative damage throughout the body. In research published in the Journal of Ocular Pharmacology, plant antioxidants were shown to protect the lipids in the tear film from oxidation, keeping them smooth and stable. Why does that matter? Because when the oils in your tears oxidize, they thicken and turn unstable, causing irritation, inflammation, and dryness. By supporting the quality of those oils, flaxseed helps maintain the environment your eyes rely on for comfort. And that's only half the story. Flaxseed also contains high levels of alpha-linolenic acid, or ALA, an essential omega-3 fatty acid that plays a critical role in reducing inflammation, not just in the body, but specifically within the tissues surrounding the eyes. Inflammation is silent. It doesn't always hurt, and most people never know it's happening. But inside the eyelids, microscopic glands called meibomian glands are constantly at risk. These glands produce the oils that protect your tears from evaporating, and when inflammation strikes them, they begin to clog, swell, and malfunction. Research published in the International Journal of Ophthalmology shows that omega-3 fatty acids help regulate these inflammatory pathways, supporting healthier, more fluid meibum, the oil your eyes depend on. Flaxseed's ALA is converted into EPA and DHA derivatives that integrate into cell membranes, making them more flexible and resilient. A healthier membrane means healthier secretions, and healthier secretions mean better lubrication. It's a chain reaction that begins with chemistry and ends with comfort. Scientists have also discovered that omega-3s influence the tiny receptors in the eye responsible for detecting irritation. When tear quality drops, those receptors fire constantly, creating that familiar, scratchy, burning sensation. But omega-3 intake has been shown to help calm these signaling pathways, reducing sensitivity and supporting a more balanced environment. This is why in clinical observations, people who consume higher omega-3 diets often report improved eye comfort over time, not because the seed performs miracles, but because human biology responds to the raw materials it is given. But flaxseed brings something else to the table, something modern diets desperately lack: vitamin E. This fat-soluble antioxidant protects cell membranes from oxidative damage, especially in tissues exposed to high oxygen levels. And the eyes are oxygen-intense environments. Vitamin E supports the regeneration of other antioxidants and helps maintain the structural integrity of eye tissues. Along with magnesium, fiber, and plant compounds that support circulation, flaxseed creates a nutrient combination uniquely suited to protecting delicate ocular structures. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reaching the retina, cornea, and glands. And where there is better circulation, there is better healing, better lubrication, and better resilience. Modern research shows that the average adult spends more than 7 hours a day looking at screens. That intense focus reduces our blink rate by nearly half, allowing oxidative stress to accumulate even faster. Most people blame dryness on the screen itself. But the deeper issue is the biological imbalance happening within the eye's microenvironment. Without nutrient support, the glands weaken, the oils oxidize, the tears evaporate, irritation becomes constant. But when omega-3s and antioxidants enter the bloodstream, they feed the very tissues responsible for tear stability. They become part of the cells, they become part of the tear film, they become part of the eye's defense system. Flaxseed doesn't cure diseases. It doesn't replace medical treatment. What it does is support the internal environment in which your eye tissues operate. It gives the glands the raw material to create healthier oils. It gives the tear film antioxidants to resist oxidation. It gives the retina nutrients to defend against light-induced stress. And it gives the entire visual system a more balanced foundation from which to function. Nature designed these seeds with a purpose: to protect the plant from oxidative damage, dehydration, and environmental stress. And when humans consume them, those same protective mechanisms extend to us. Every blink you make is a mechanical miracle. Every tear is a chemical masterpiece. And behind that masterpiece lies a delicate interplay of oils, water, mucins, antioxidants, and lipids, each one vulnerable to the pressures of daily life. Flaxseed supports these processes not from the surface, but from the bloodstream, the glands, and the cellular architecture that keeps your eyes working. A small seed with a monumental ability to nourish the tissues that help you see the world. Most people assume that real change requires complicated routines, expensive supplements, or medical treatments, but sometimes the most powerful transformations begin with a habit so small, so effortless, that it almost feels impossible. One simple tablespoon of ground flaxseed, a daily ritual that takes less than 5 seconds, yet nourishes the body with compounds that scientists have been studying with astonishment for decades. This tiny serving carries a universe of biological power, hidden in the fragile shell of a seed humans have consumed for thousands of years. And only now are we beginning to understand why it matters so much. What makes a single tablespoon so extraordinary isn't just what it contains, but how efficiently the body uses it. Ground flaxseed is a concentrated source of omega-3 fatty acids, a nutrient researchers consistently associate with lower inflammation and improved cellular resilience. When you consume just 1 tablespoon, you're delivering more ALA omega-3 than you'd get from most full servings of nuts or seeds. That's a powerful message for the eyes, for the glands, and for every tissue influenced by inflammation. But the secret lies in the word ground. Whole flax seeds, no matter how fresh or organic, pass through the digestive system nearly untouched. Their outer shell is too strong. Their nutrients stay locked inside. But once ground, that protective armor breaks open, releasing oils, lignans, fiber, minerals, and antioxidants into the bloodstream, fuel that your body can finally recognize, absorb, and use. When researchers analyzed the nutritional density of ground flaxseed, they found something shocking. 1 tablespoon contains over 1.6 grams of omega-3s, roughly 3 grams of fiber, and a unique blend of antioxidants unmatched by nearly any other plant food. It takes only a moment to sprinkle into yogurt, a moment to stir into oatmeal, a moment to blend into a smoothie. But once it enters the body, it sets off a biological cascade. Omega-3s integrate into cell membranes. Fiber supports gut health and steady blood sugar. Antioxidants flood tissues with protection against oxidative stress. And for the visual system, these nutrients support the delicate balance of tear production, oil stability, and gland function that determine eye comfort. Not because flaxseed performs miracles, but because the body is engineered to respond to the raw materials that keep it alive. Multiple studies show that omega-3 intake supports tear film stability. But the story runs deeper than most people know. The tear film isn't one substance. It's a layered structure, constantly regenerating itself with every blink. That regeneration requires nutrients. Without them, the oils thicken, the tears evaporate, and irritation follows. But with a steady supply of plant-based omega-3s, the body has what it needs to maintain the fluidity of the meibomian gland oils, supporting healthier lubrication. 1 tablespoon a day is enough to make a measurable difference in nutritional biomarkers. Not because the amount is large, but because flaxseed is one of the richest plant sources known to science. And then there are the lignans, powerful compounds found almost exclusively in flaxseed. These molecules act like microscopic shields against oxidative stress, one of the silent forces that ages tissues from the inside. Researchers examining eye health have found that oxidative stress plays a role in eyelid gland performance, tear quality, and cellular aging. Lignans, once absorbed, circulate through the bloodstream to tissues where oxidative stress tends to accumulate, including the eyes. A single tablespoon delivers more lignans than most people consume in an entire week. A tablespoon that strengthens the body's defenses from the inside out. But perhaps the most overlooked power of this daily habit is consistency. Modern diets bombard the body with pro-inflammatory foods, refined oils, excess sugars, and artificial ingredients that overwhelm the system. Most people don't realize how deeply this affects the eyes. Inflammation makes tissues stiff. Stiff tissues don't secrete healthy oils. Unhealthy oils degrade the tear film, and a degraded tear film produces discomfort long before a person notices anything is wrong. But a daily tablespoon of ground flaxseed sends the opposite message, one of nourishment, stability, and restoration. It gently shifts the body back toward balance, not through drastic intervention, but through repetition. through a habit anyone can maintain. And the beauty of this habit is its simplicity. Mix it into breakfast, stir it into soup, sprinkle it over a salad, add it to homemade bread. You don't need to change your diet, you only need to enhance it. Scientists have found that people who consume flaxseed regularly experience improvements in biomarkers of inflammation, oxidative status, and lipid balance. These are not small changes. They are foundational shifts in the body's inner chemistry. And yet they come from a habit so tiny it almost feels invisible. Even the fiber inside that tablespoon carries remarkable effects. Soluble fiber helps regulate digestion and supports gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids, compounds that influence inflammation throughout the body. The gut-eye axis, though rarely discussed, is a growing field of study. Researchers have discovered that gut health affects immune function, and immune function affects inflammation in tissues, including those around the eyes. So when you eat flaxseed, you aren't just feeding the eyes, you're feeding the system that supports them. But here is the most astonishing part. This single tablespoon costs almost nothing. It requires no prescription, no equipment, no complicated instructions. It doesn't demand drastic lifestyle change. And yet, it provides nutrients many modern diets lack, nutrients that support eye comfort, gland health, and tear stability in ways eye drops alone cannot. Drops treat the surface. Nutrition supports the system. And when the system is supported, the body remembers how to function. People often underestimate the compounding effect of small choices, but biology doesn't underestimate it. Biology responds, it adapts, it rebuilds, it strengthens, not overnight, not in a dramatic moment, but slowly, quietly, powerfully with each tablespoon. A ripple in the bloodstream that becomes a wave of nourishment for tissues most people never think about until discomfort strikes. 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed is not a miracle. It is a tool, a daily investment into the foundation of comfort, wellness, and resilience. A reminder that sometimes the smallest habits create the biggest changes. And inside that habit lies a message. Your body is always trying to heal, always trying to balance, always trying to protect you. All it needs is the right support, and sometimes that support fits in a single spoon.